Hello and welcome back to Brockport Sports Talk alongside Michael Tamaro and Zach Harnischfager. I am Jack McElligott, and guys, after a 2-week break, we are back. And in being gone, we have passed what might be the busiest 2 weeks in sports that have happened since we started the show. MLB is back. They agreed to a new CBA. NFL free agency has been running wild, and it's hard to keep up with how much has been changing in that landscape. And of course, lots of moves in baseball free agency. So many huge transactions and moves that have changed the outlook of both leagues in such a short time. And Zach, I understand you're on the Brockport baseball team here, and you have been involved in a very long win streak, 10 wins. You went to Florida just last week. How have things been with that team?
Hey, we're playing really good baseball right now. Started off the season a little slow at 2-2, but since then, man, we've been shooting up. We had a big win against the University of Rochester on Tuesday, a big 12-6 win with a home run by Justin Pangburn, and then we had a doubleheader today against one of our rivals, SUNY Fredonia. We beat them the first game 14-1, and then we beat them the second game 12-1 with a combined total of 30 hits. And we had 3 home runs, and I'd like to shout out Ryan Mroshka with his first collegiate home run today. Congrats, Ryan. Nice job. And
Ryan.
what a great string of games we've been playing, and we're excited to keep going and looking forward to the rest of the year.
All right. We will certainly be keeping a big eye on the Brockport baseball team, 12-2 right now. Very impressive. We'll see how they progress throughout the season. But Zach, I understand you're chomping at the bit here to get to talking about some NFL free agency.
Yeah, well, Jack, like you said earlier, it's been crazy. The NFL free agency period has been moving at a breakneck pace for the past couple weeks. Several big quarterback moves, like Tom Brady coming out of retirement, Russell Wilson going to the Denver Broncos, and receivers like Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill being traded. So, Jack, we'll start off with you. What is your opinions on these trades?
I mean, the landscape is just changing a lot. I think Russell Wilson was that big first shoe to drop, which quite the thing to drop. Russell Wilson, a multi-time All-Pro quarterback. Some would say he's an elite quarterback. I would say he is. He had a somewhat rough 2021, but I think that was partly due to the Seahawks and their situation, and obviously his situation with being more injured and stuff like that. But that's a move that would put them towards the top of the AFC West. But then you've got moves, like you just said, with Devontae Adams going to the Raiders. Obviously, you have Patrick Mahomes up there. I think, and who knows what to make of some of the other moves that the AFC has made. It's just crazy. Like Deshaun Watson going to the Cleveland Browns. I don't know how we evaluate that from a football standpoint. Will he be suspended this season? What's going to happen there? They haven't even gotten rid of Baker Mayfield yet. What's going to be happening with him? You got to think he's going to be traded. I don't know why you would keep a piece like him on the bench, but I don't know. It's just all sorts of crazy, Mike.
Yeah, so Russell Wilson, I really wasn't expecting that to ever happen. I thought Russell Wilson was going to finish his career as a Seahawk, despite all those rumors the past years, and the Broncos are looking so much better. I mean, Drew Lock wasn't that good with the Broncos, and now they have a former All-Pro in Russell Wilson now, who's definitely going to make them better. And for Deshaun Watson, I didn't expect him to go to the Browns at all. And before that trade, they weren't going to trade Baker Mayfield. They denied his request to be traded, and now would technically be the backup quarterback going into the season, but he's definitely going to get traded at one point. I don't know who's going to want him because he's not that good, but he's definitely going to get traded at some point.
We've taken our fair share of shots at Baker Mayfield here.
We have.
But considering he was one of the best rookie QBs of all time, he had a pretty solid year in 2020. 2021 wasn't that great. Browns obviously kind of sucked. But, he's still a valuable quarterback. And I think, to move on from him and go to Deshaun Watson, who, I have a lot of opinions on, what's been going on with the allegations and stuff like that. But keeping it even to football, just with his suspensions and things like that, and what it brings to a fan base to leave on Baker Mayfield like that, it's just kind of a crazy situation. But moving on from that a little bit, Zach, we understand you're a Colts fan, and some big moves have been happening with the Colts, huh?
Oh, yeah. We got Matty Ice, or Matt Ryan, and boy, am I excited. I've been a big Matt Ryan fan, since I started watching football a while ago, and it's great to have a former NFL MVP on our as our quarterback. Hey, look, now, I'm not trying to be biased here, but I definitely think we're favorites to be in the Super Bowl.
Favorites? What?
Favorites?
We got the team to do it. We got a good defense. We got a really good offensive line. We got an amazing running back in Jonathan Taylor, who quite frankly should have won the MVP. And let me talk.
These
Let me
are
talk.
scorching hot takes that you have
They
right
are,
now.
and correct.
Scorching.
All right,
Keep quiet over
let the
there,
man
let me
take.
talk.
Let the man take.
So, I definitely think, like I said, we got guys who can make plays. We got good receivers, and now with Matty Ice throwing the ball, it's definitely a big upgrade, and they're going to be a team to watch this year.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to hold Mike back here from him blowing up. Take a minute to center. Mike, I think that the Colts made a really great move with what they did at the QB position.
was.
Carson Wentz trading him to the Washington football team, and getting in the trade for Matt Ryan. You look at the two things that the two trades, they end up earning a second rounder and improving greatly at the quarterback position. I've said, my piece about Carson Wentz. I don't think he's a QB that really contributes to big winning football. Not anymore after his injuries and everything. You look at him in the Colts this season and how that season ended specifically, the teams he lost to. I mean, I don't think that the Colts are Super Bowl favorites, but they have one of the best supporting casts, I think, for a quarterback in the NFL. It's a much better supporting cast, I think, than what the Denver Broncos bring for Russell Wilson, for example. But Mike, how about you let it go?
Okay, one, the Colts are nowhere near Super Bowl favorites even after this trade. There's much better teams than the Colts right now.
Well, you
Two,
can't talk,
Jonathan
you're a
Taylor
Giants fan.
should not have won MVP. He shouldn't even come close to
Best
MVP.
running back in the
I mean, he
NFL.
was really great this season.
He's not an MVP, though. No running back, in my opinion, should ever
Sure.
win that award. Adrian Peterson should be the last running back to win MVP. I never want to see a running back win MVP
Everything
anymore.
that comes out of your mouth is blasphemy. So it's just
Everything
To
coming in
you,
is blasphemy
I mean,
with
to
your
you.
scorching hot takes, or in quotation marks.
Sure.
Jonathan Taylor MVP. Colts winning. Do you think the Colts are better than the Bills or the Chiefs?
I think we
Are they
can,
even the
I
best
think we
team in
can
the
compete
division?
with them. We can compete with them.
You
You
compete
just
with
said
them.
Super Bowl favorites.
You lost to Jaguars
Okay,
at home
yeah.
in Jacksonville in the
yeah.
last game of the season.
Bills did as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
And
Bills
on
did
the
Yeah, but
Right.
Bills
road-
are actually a good team. Well, a great team, I should say. 'Cause I don't think the Colts are anywhere close to an elite team.
Let me tell you one thing. The Bills are going to do what they always do. They're going to go to the AFC Championship game and they're going to lose. Because the typical Bills, the Bills.
All right.
At
You
least
know
they'll
what? You
get
got,
it there, unless you like the Colts.
All right, zip it, Mike.
All right, guys. How about we take a moment, deep breaths. Let's transition over to some MLB talk, where I think we could be a bit more peaceful. Mike, how about you take this away?
After the MLB Owners and Players Union agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement, free agency was soon resumed, and the season was put back on track to start. It did not take long for an MLB hot stove to start heating up as negotiations between players and teams immediately started back up. Big moves like Matt Olson being traded to the Braves. We got Freddie Freeman going to the Dodgers. We also have arguably the biggest free agent in this free agency, Carlos Correa, ending up with the Twins out of all teams.
Nice.
Has changed the landscape of the league.
Unexpected.
So, guys, what are your opinions on some of these moves we've seen gone down, and what do you think? What teams do you think got better or worse? Let's start with you, Jack.
First off, I think the Braves pulled a masterclass getting Matt Olson, getting him on the deal that he is. Matt Olson, Freddie Freeman's amazing. One of my favorite baseball players of all time for how he plays the game and how he does it. But Matt Olson being young, elite at two things, defense, batting. I mean, it's a great move for them to move on from there, and the Dodgers just have an embarrassment of riches. It's just insane what they've been accomplishing there, and for the Braves, it made the move with the Yankees, where it seemed like they were just getting a net negative, look a little better. They get Gary Sanchez, make that catcher position a bit better, and then they just immediately. Or I'm sorry, the Twins. I say the
Yeah.
Braves. The Minnesota Twins. It made the signing Carlos Correa made the move that they made with the Yankees look a little bit better. They get better at the catching position. They get Carlos Correa at shortstop, who obviously, as Yankees fans, we have been pining for him and singing his praises. Zach may be excluded from that, but he's a great player, and I'm not sure what to make of that Twins team, but you can't deny that they've that move doesn't make them better, and that they're definitely trying to build on what they have right now.
Yeah, and one that stands out for me that you guys didn't mention, and I hate to say this as a Yankees fan, but with the Mets, with signing Max Scherzer. Yeah, I know we're all Yankees fans here, but I got to tell you one thing that starting rotation the Mets have right now, Scherzer, DeGrom, they got a really, really good starting rotation. They got some ballers on the offensive side, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, and I think they're going to be a team to watch out for. So
for the Mets, personally, I think that their offense is going to be a little concerning. You have Lindor, who struggled last year. Alonso was pretty good, but you also signed guys like Mark Canha, Starling Marte, and was Eduardo Escobar. It's gonna, I don't know. They can all easily regress. I mean, they're pretty old players.
Yeah, I mean, Mets are in the same tier as the Twins are for me, where I will not believe any success that they will or could have until it happens. I mean, the Mets are on a much worse scale, really, than that. They're on, like, it's the New York Mets.
Well, I think that the Mets are going to be much better than Twins. I don't think the Twins are going to be any sort of contending this year. And my hot take is Carlos Correa gets traded at the deadline.
I mean, it wouldn't be too surprising, really, if you look at how his contract is structured. It would be crazy, but it wouldn't be insane.
Mike, very rarely do we agree on the show, but I do agree with you on that. I do think he gets traded at the trade deadline.
Respect, Zach, respect.
Let me end it off by saying, guys, this MLB season, I think it's going to be a very interesting one with everybody on their new teams. Be very interesting to watch.
Yes, I definitely think it's going to be an interesting MLB season. I'm really curious to see how the AL East race ends up. The Red Sox have been making some moves. Obviously, the Blue Jays. Trevor Story is a huge signing and getting.
We'll see how his arm is, though.
Yes, and we'll see how the Blue Jays improve. I think they're one of the teams that people think has improved the most over the offseason. The Yankees, they get marginally better, but I want to see I want to just see more out of them this offseason for sure.
Me too.
But let's go wrap it up for us this week on Sports Talk. Alongside Zach Karnsfager and Michael Tamaro, I am Jack McElligott, and we will see you next time.
I think we nailed that.